Guys, January was a great reading month. Like, so great. Hey guys, it's Hannah, and today I have my January wrap-up and February TBR. It's probably getting towards the middle of February when I post this, but you're getting a video, so it doesn't matter. Guys, I read 8 books. 8 books. This totally makes up for November. I'm still mad about November, but it totally makes up for November. The first book I read of the month of January was Illuminated by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. This book is about 2 characters, one named Ezra, one named Katie, and their home planet is kind of attacked. And they end up on spaceships, and this book is told through like emails and chat rooms and logs and surveillance cameras in a way, and it's such a good book. Such a good book. This was actually a Christmas present from one of my friends, and we were in Target and she's like, just pick out a book and that's your present. I'll buy that for you. So I'm all excited. I don't know what to pick. All I knew about this book was that it was told in a really unique way. That's all I knew. So I bought this instead of getting the Fantastic Beasts screenplay, which I still want to get. But I'm so glad I bought this. Well, she bought it, and thank you for that, Kelsey. But I'm so glad that I picked this. It was so good. Katie was my absolute favorite character, and the whole story was amazing, and the ending is going to kill you. And then you're gonna get to like the ending of the ending, and you're gonna be like, wait, whoa, wait. You're going to die, but you're gonna love it. I still haven't read, I think the next one's called Gemina, right? Yeah? I don't remember. I starts with a G, I think. I still haven't picked that up yet. I will, but I kind of needed a break after this one. This one was so intense, I just needed to step back and calm down for a bit. But if you're thinking about reading this, then please read it, because it is so good. Next book I read is Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams. Kind of had a space thing going on for the first part of the month. This book was also amazing. So funny. Like, ridiculously funny. And it was funny in a way that you're kind of like, this is so weird. But it's hilarious, and I love it. This is a book that Lisby told me to read, and I'm so glad I read it because it was so good. I need to get to the second one, but it was such a good book. It was just hilarious. And the whole time you're like, this is such a stupid book if you think about it, but I love it, and it's amazing, and it's hilarious, so I don't care. Like, sometimes it doesn't even make sense, but it's still funny. It's amazing. You need to read it if you haven't read it. It's amazing. The next book I read is a little more on the solemn side, and that is Night by Elie Wiesel. I think that's how his name is said. This book was actually written by Elie Wiesel, and it's a real story about his experience in World War II and being Jewish and going through the concentration camps and everything surrounding World War II. And it's actually, I don't remember what language it's originally written in, but his wife actually is the one who translated it into English, which I think is pretty cool. But it's about his, experience with World War II, and coincidentally, I read it in a night, and I like how the title is Night because it's fitting with the way the story goes. And he actually has 2 others, Dawn and Day, which is my sister's copy. She has the whole trilogy, which I haven't read those yet, but I will. Yeah, it was really good. It was a fast read, but it was a hard read. Well written, very, World War II, eye-opening, makes you think kind of book. And I read it in a night. The next book I have, I also read in a night, and that is The Memory of Light by Francisco X. Stork. And can you just take a minute to appreciate that name? Francisco. And then X? Like, is it X Xavier? What's his middle name? And then Stork. Francisco X. Stork. I love his name. This book's not as fun as his name, but it is an amazing book, and I fell in love with it. It's about a girl named Vicky, and she attempts to commit suicide, but something happens and it's prevented, and then it's about her experience trying to get over depression and being at the hospital with some other people who are in the kind of mental side of the hospital. I'm not 100% positive, but I think towards the end I saw somewhere where the author mentioned that she had actually attempted to commit suicide, and then something happened and it didn't go through. And then she had to kind of go through, you know, getting back on track and that sort of thing. And so the author knew what she was writing about. And I think you can tell when you read the book, because it was really, really good. I really liked it. And if you're looking for that kind of book, then I highly suggest this one. It is very, you know, depression heavy, suicide heavy. So if you're like triggered by any of that, then don't read this book. But if you want to know more about that kind of thing, then I think this would be a good way to get to know more about those, because it was so good. Heart-wrenching, but so good. Next book I read is a classic, and it's one that for some reason I haven't read until now, and I honestly don't know why. Like, there is really no reason. It's just one that I kept putting off, like, oh, I'll read that later. Like, oh, I'll read that in high school, and then high school's almost over for me, and then I realized, wait a minute, I haven't read that, so I read it. And that is To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. Yes, I hadn't read this before. I don't know why. I really don't. It just got put off the whole time. And I'm mad that I hadn't read it until now because it was so good. I'm sure you know what it's about. It's about a lawyer named Atticus, but it's told from the point of view of Scout, one of his children, who, by the way, is absolutely hilarious and I love her. It's about when he is set to defend a black man who is accused of raping a white girl. And it is so good and so pertinent to today. But Atticus is amazing, Scout is amazing, Jim is amazing. This book was just amazing and I love it, and I can't believe I haven't read it until now. I don't know if I'll ever bother reading what's the other one called? Go Set a Watchman, just because I don't know, this one was so good, and I've heard it really changes the characters, especially Atticus, and I don't know if I want to, you know, delve into that, so I might just never pick it up. I may later, but as of right now I don't know if I want to read it, you know? Alright, the next one I actually got at the book club my library has, which I think I've talked about, but I might not have posted that video yet. So, in case y'all don't know, the library has this book club, and it's just kind of like you go and you talk about books. We're not reading set books every month. And they had, you know, ARCs and some finished copies for us to take home for free, which that's the reason I went to the first meeting. So the book I got was A Fierce and Subtle Poison by Samantha Mabry, and I went ahead and read it basically as soon as I got it. I read this in a night as well. Have a thing going. This is about a small Spanish town. There's this cursed house and there's this kid who's trying to find out why it's cursed, and people die and he tries to find out why they died, because there's all little things going on and some people don't like him, and it's hard to explain because there's a lot that goes on and I don't want to spoil anything that happens. But yeah, it was good. It wasn't my favorite book, but it was good. It was really interesting and I liked that, but it wasn't captivating. It wasn't just, you know, it didn't grab me completely and hold me, but it was good. So it's one of those where I'm kind of like, nah, I read it, I liked it. It was just, nah, it was good. It was one of those where you're just like, oh, yeah, that was good. It's hard to explain, but that's, yeah, it was good though, but not amazing. Cover, however, is amazing. I absolutely love the cover and all the bright colors. The next one I have is actually a graphic novel, and it's actually my first ever graphic novel, and that is Sailor Twain, or The Mermaid in the Hudson by Mark Siegel. It'd be Siegel? That'd be cool if it's Mark Siegel, because you know it's water, seagulls. But so it's told in like these pencil sketches, and I absolutely love pencil sketches. So I loved the artwork. However, once again, even though I read this in a night, it wasn't, I don't know, it was okay. The story was interesting. Just like with the last one, the story was interesting and I enjoyed it, but it was still just kind of, it was okay. Was it anything absolutely amazing? I love the artwork, however, and so I think I might try and look a little more into graphic novels, maybe more of his graphic novels, because I think he has some more. But the story was just kind of cool, interesting, but just not my favorite. Didn't completely grab me. So the last book I read in the month of January is Starring Me by Kristen McGee. This is kind of the sequel to First Date by Kristen McGee. First Date, if you don't know, is basically like, it's kind of like The Bachelor. The girls are teenagers and they're competing to be the prom date of the president's son. And it was good. It was one of those, you know, cute, lighthearted reads that you read when you just want to have a good time. And so Starring Me takes one of the characters that the main character in First Date becomes friends with and follows her. And so what happens in Starring Me is Kara, I'm not sure, I think it's Kara, but I'm not sure. She's an actress and she gets an audition to be on this show that's basically SNL for teens. A lot of 14 stuff in these things. And then it's about her experience trying to get on the show because it's kind of like The Bachelor, but not really, and it'll make sense if you read it. It was good. It was one of those, you know, cute, lighthearted reads that you just read when you want to have a good time. I read it in a day. It was hilarious. Kara, however her name is pronounced, is so freaking funny. So funny. It was a really nice read to have after some intense reads and some that were just meh. To have one like this where it's good and it's just, you know, really light and fluffy. It was nice. So I really, really liked it. Now we are on to the February TBR, and obviously we're already in February, and so I've already read one book. Only one, I know. I am currently reading Winter by Marissa Meyer. It's on my Kindle because I had to return the hard copy I had because it was due. Oops. So I'm plowing my way through that. I'm almost halfway. So I'm so glad I'm finally reading it. It's so good so far, but I'm also like so worried. And also the fact that it's 800 pages is killing me. It's like already a bunch of stuff has happened and there's so many more pages for more stuff to happen, and I'm really scared. Like really scared. And I've been doing, you know, a lot of mood reading lately, so I kind of just look around my room. And if I see a book and I'm like, I haven't read you yet. I gotta read you. I pick it up, I read it. So I really don't have a TBR, so I'm gonna kind of just quickly show you the books that I picked up from the library this past time. If you don't know, what I like to do is I go to the library, I walk around. If the book sounds interesting, I'll bring it and take it home. Doesn't mean I'm ever gonna get to it, but then I have it if I decide to get to it. So I'll show you the 4 books that I got last time. I held up 5 fingers. There's 4 fingers. 4. First one I got is My Lady Jane by Cynthia Hand, Brody Ashton, and Jody Meadows. I know this is some kind of like historical retelling, like very much so retelling. I think at some point they just completely go off the history books. I've also heard it's extremely funny, so if I ever get to it, I think I'll like it. And most of these books I don't even know half of what it's about, so you know. The next one I have is Every Hidden Thing by Kenneth Opel. This is one I actually discovered when I was going to the Texas Teen Book Festival because the author was going to be there, and I was going to try to read it, but I ran out of time, and so I saw it, and so I grabbed it. I know it has something to do with like archaeologists and their rivals, and I think there's like a Romeo and Juliet type thing with the daughter and son of the rivals. I really don't know, but it sounded cool when I heard about it. So maybe I'll get to it. Who knows? I may never. The next one I have is Etiquette and Espionage. Again, don't really know much what this is about. I do know that I own the second book. I got out of the library for like 25 cents, I think, because I think they're doing like 4 for $1 that time. So I got it real cheap. It looked cool, but then I realized it's the second book. So I grabbed the first one, and maybe I'll get to it. I think it's like it's a school. It says finishing school, book the first. Book the first, what the heck? But I think it's like a school where they actually teach you to be spies and ladies, but you know, spies, that's the important thing. This last one I have is 13 Reasons Why by J. Asher. Lesby told me to read it. That's what I know about this. That's literally all I know about this. I think it's something tragic. If Lesby told me to read it, it's usually either something really tragic or really funny, so I think this is more on the tragic side. That's it for this video. Comment down below, let me know how your reading month is going so far. Also, you can comment down below, let me know out of the books I showed you from the library, which one you think I should read first, if I ever get to any of them. Like, is there one where you're like, Hannah, you need to read that one because it's so good? Let me know down below. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see y'all again in another one soon.